Cycling. It is expanding throughout the country, and the state of Tennessee is among the leaders. With the Smoky Mountains as a backdrop, it is an ideal setting for the Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic. Hincapie, Lewis, Boucher, Ventura, King. Names known across the country and around the cycling world. They have made their marks on the toughest courses in the world, including the Tour de France. Now, a competition where their outcome relies on amateurs.
The reality is they're competing. They're competing with us. We are their conduit to the victory, where they get to make a charitable donation to a cause that touches their heart.
4 stages. It will take speed, endurance, tactics, but above all, teamwork.
Every place kind of counts, right? So if you're not winning, maybe you're racing for 10th or 15th, and those points that you take away from other riders make a big difference in your team overall. We're talking about $10, $20, $30,000 of charitable money. People are gonna go hard. They're gonna work together and they're gonna do everything they can to put their team on top.
From the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, this is the 2015 edition of the Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic. The 5 teams are set. Stage 1, the circuit taking place on the beautiful historic grounds of Blackberry Farm Resort. With every lap, riders are eliminated. The longer you survive, the more points you accumulate for your team.
One thing about cycling, it's a community. Individual performance is great, but for me it's all about that community. And coming here reinforces why I ride a bike. And I think for us too, if you can ride a bike, you know, feel athletic, be in an amazing place, but at the same time give back, that's what most of us really want to do.
Tim Zoff is part of Team Ventura, competing for the Burn Institute, their mission to reduce injuries and deaths through education. Team Ventura, the only team not to have a rider eliminated after the first lap. But on the second lap, they begin to lose competitors as well. Every lap, 4 riders are eliminated. It is a constant balancing act of using enough energy to advance, but without depleting yourself for future laps and for future stages. This just the first of 4 to come in one grueling day of cycling. On the 3rd lap, Tim Zoff is out. The 9th competitor eliminated.
That was rough. Lots and lots of climbing.
And that second kicker was too steep. So you're already kind of at your limit. You get to the second kicker, then I just kept losing spots every lap.
I was trying to stay 5 from the back, and I got 4 from the back.
How's the track?
Right there, that guy passed me by an inch and got me.
On the final turn of lap 6, Lachlan Patterson of Team Bush crashes out of the competition. Despite the competition continuing, despite being on a rival team, Kevin Sprouse of Team King instantly stopped to offer assistance.
Good job, babe. Nice job, you two.
The spirit of cycling alive and well at Blackberry Farm. While Patterson receives medical treatment, the battle continues on course, and riders continue to be eliminated. Similar to the Tour de France and other major cycling events, there is a team title, but also individual champions. On the final lap, the battle for the first individual stage winner is between Fred Smith with Team Boucher and Brad Cobb riding for Team Hincapie. Smith with the lead, Cobb right on his wheel. At the line, Cobb with the move, and it is Cobb with the individual victory and the maximum 50 points for Team Hincapie.
In the last one, there was a breakaway. The pros peeled off, and I was behind Fred Smith, who's a much better rider than I. But I stayed on his wheel, and then coming into this final hill, I was able to dart around him and get the victory.
On the strength of Cobb's first place finish, it is Team Hincapie racing on behalf of the charity Best Buddies, with 222 points for the lead after one stage. But just 7 points back are Team Boucher, followed by Team King, Team Ventura, and Team Lewis. The competitors will now make their way to the second stage, the team time trial. The Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic is brought to you by Blackberry Farm and by Lexus, the preferred vehicle of Blackberry Farm.
Santa has a magic snow globe for every family. And whatever he puts in our snow globe shows up at our house. And this year, look at what he put in our driveway.
Santa can do that?
He sure can, honey.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event is going on now with some of the most magical deals of the year. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Butterfly Gap, Happy Valley, Sweetie Pie, Look Rock, Top of the World, world-renowned rides, breathtaking views. This is Blount County, the peaceful side of the Tennessee Smokies. Come make our rides into the best rides of your life.
Welcome back to the Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic. Stage 2. The team time trial is next.
You got to go hard, but you got to keep all your team together.
If I help at the back in the beginning, we might be able to go faster, as fast as possible, because regardless, we might have to help somebody stay on.
First up, Team Ventura. They will look to their chosen charity, the Burn Institute, for motivation on this event that will push everyone to their very limit.
In the back of your mind, when you're starting to struggle a little bit, think about these kids. If we win this thing, we're giving $10K to these kids to go to burn camps.
2, 1, go!
This is strictly a team event. No individual points awarded. It is all about working together, about the charity chosen by each of the 5 professional captains.
Up, 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 up!
So I expect it's going to be competitive. I think each of us is going to find a moment, maybe 2, maybe 3, to say, you know what, I'm going to do a little bit more than I thought I could do. And I'm going to challenge myself and be competitive. And I think that's great. That's kind of what we're about, is to find that moment every once in a while where we can just go a little bit beyond what we thought we could do.
Go! Team King will be next. They are led by former professional cyclist Ted King. His chosen charity continues to assist his family and others through their very personal struggles.
The fact that we're eclipsing $500,000, that's heartwarming.
My charity is the Krempel Center. It's an organization and facility back in Seacoast, New Hampshire, where I'm born and raised. My father suffered a stroke 13 years ago. You know, he's the pillar of the community, pillar of our family. He was an orthopedic surgeon, and so this stroke, I mean, it changed everything. It changed his life dramatically. It changed our entire family's life. And a brain injury is so difficult. So what this group is it's an organization that's not necessarily recovery. It's not rehabilitation from a brain injury, but it's just a sense of community. You know, one of the biggest things is just to really appreciate every day. My father was an incredibly hard worker, and he always took the time to support his kids, to support his family, to make sure that, you know, we would have great family vacations. It's a similar lesson that I've taken to professional cycling. You know, professional bike racing is not easy. You kiss a lot of great things goodbye. You know, you live overseas and you don't see family and friends for a long time. But I wanted to pursue my dream. You know, I really appreciate every moment, and that's definitely a long-winded message of something that I've taken from my parents, especially my father. He was such a hard worker. He always wanted me to strive to be the best, to strive to appreciate the moment, to strive to really be an incredibly hard worker. It's a perfect parallel in cycling. I mean, the harder you work, the better you get. The harder you work, the better you get. So it was a great message from my parents. Now I get choked up thinking about it and talking about it, but I mean, it's because it's very real. I mean, there's just such a sense of camaraderie that you can't get really anywhere else. So it was awesome to have them, you know, riding for me, riding for the Krempel Center, for that charity. But, you know, obviously it doesn't feel like work. We're having a great time. We're doing a great deal of good for the community, and bikes are awesome.
Team King unable to beat the time set by Team Ventura as they crossed the line in second in a time of 19 minutes 37 seconds. 21 seconds behind the top time so far.
Nice job, guys. Keep it up. Keeping the team together right now. We're doing great. Looking good.
Matthew Boucher and his team showing great form. Every team has to stay together for the first 2 miles. Then they can separate. However, at the end, the clock does not stop until the 5th amateur crosses. With drafting playing such a huge role in cycling, the larger the group and the longer they can stay together, the better. To a point. The big questions are, how do you protect the riders who will make the final push? And when do they go? With over 8 miles to cover, there will be lots of critical decisions to be made. And remember Lachlan Patterson? Crashed during stage 1? He is scraped up and bandaged up. But he is right there helping his team.
Good, we're good. We're keeping together really good. We're having a good ride so far.
Team Hincapie are on course. The entire team able to stay together and push the pace for quite a while. With their strongest riders now making the final push.
So Best Buddies is Georgia's charity. Awesome organization.
It's fun to do something you love, and it goes for a good cause. So this is a great outing for something like this.
Team Boucher with a great effort, 19:11. Just 5 seconds quicker than Team Ventura, but enough to move them into the lead. The man to stop the clock is their 5th finisher, Lachlan Patterson. The last team to get underway, Team Lewis. They are competing on behalf of the Bobby Labonte Foundation, which focuses on helping children with special needs.
Hopefully I'm gonna keep people calm and not get too excited, because it's easy to get out there and bury yourself early on and hit the red zone and you never recover from that.
Team Lewis begin to struggle on this stage as they have fallen off the pace set by the top team. Team Hincapie hitting the finish line. Clock stops after 5th amateur. And they have done it. George Hincapie and his team have taken over top spot with just 1 team remaining.
It was a little challenging communicating for our first time trial, but our captain was incredible and is still my hero.
Team Lewis will cross the line, the 5th team to start. And that is the position they will finish in. The official results. Team Hincapie takes the stage. Just 12 seconds between the top 3 teams. Boucher in 2nd, followed by Ventura, King, and Lewis.
They had to talk as a team, work as a team. You had to start with a plan and then adjust it, on road to make it work. And I'm happy to say that Team Hincapie actually won.
At the halfway point, it is Team Hincapie and their charity Best Buddies with 252 points. Right there in 2nd, Boucher with 240, Team King in 3rd. Coming up, the King of the Mountain, as the Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic rolls on to the next stage.
Santa has a magic snow globe for every family. And whatever he puts in our snow globe shows up at our house. And this year, look at what he put in our driveway.
Santa can do that?
He sure can, honey.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event is going on now with some of the most magical deals of the year. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Welcome back to the Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic from Tennessee's award-winning Blackberry Farm.
All right.
Okay.
You ready to do it?
This competition, with strong ties to the Blackberry Farm Foundation, its mission to raise charitable funds with a focus on children and food-related causes. That and more certainly being achieved through this event, with $30,000 going to charities across our nation.
We want to try to roll out of here in 5 minutes. That's our goal.
The athletes have completed half of the stages, with plenty of riding still to come.
So far we are 4 hours in, and it's been a epic day. It's really a very memorable thing to be able to ride with all these pros. It's something I will never forget.
We're on stage 3 right now. I think everybody's hurting pretty good. I was hurting after stage 1. I was hurting when I woke up, but all in a good way. We're gonna have a good time. That's what's great about the sport of cycling. Everyone's gonna suffer, just at different levels, different speeds.
Stage 3, the king of the mountain. To most, this one will be the toughest of them all.
It's a wonderful climb, and I say that facetiously because it's really hard.
I'm marking Freddie, that guy right there.
Freddie Stubbs?
That's my guy.
Yeah!
It is known as Butterfly Gap, an infamous climb in the region filled with switchbacks and sections that have left many riders walking. For the quickest, about 15 agonizing minutes. For others, it will be even longer. Fred Smith and Brad Cobb quickly to the front. The race inside the race. They are chasing for maximum points for their team, for their individual aspirations as well. $10,000 going to the top team's charity. $10,000 to the top individual's charity as well.
When you're in the sprint or you're climbing a hill and it hurts a lot, to think, well, I really want, in my case, to win money for World Bicycle Relief, that's a lot easier to get through that pain than, oh, I hope I make it to the top, or I hope I get a good workout. And so that's what I really like about this event.
For more than 10 agonizing minutes, Fred Smith with Team Boucher and Brad Cobb with Team Hincapie have been battling it out. Smith has been relentless with the pressure, and finally, a gap begins to open up. Smith has broken his rival, but there is still work to be done. Brent Belem, another rider for Team Hincapie, kept the two leaders in his sights, and late into the climb he makes a move of his own as he catches his teammate Brad Cobb.
Yeah. Oh, I got it.
The professional riders, most of them right there near the front, watching the action unfold. Belem continues closing on the leader, but he will run out of time. Fred Smith will take the victory and claim the title of King of the Mountain. His time just 13 minutes and 42 seconds, just 5 seconds ahead of Brent Belem. An exhausted Brad Cobb will cross the line in third. One after another, they will cross the line as they push through to earn valuable points for their team.
So close. We've gone all day, so close.
This is Miguel's first little cramp he experienced when he's riding. He's 800 meters from the top, but it ain't stopping him. He's gonna get there, whether he rides, whether he walks. Nice job, Miguel. Keep it up, baby. Keep it up.
Lachlan Patterson continuing to defy the odds. Climbing, undoubtedly putting extreme pressure on his injured arm, yet somehow he is able to cross the line in just under 17 minutes. 14th overall, and 37 points to Team Boucher. A few minutes later, a member of Robbie Ventura's group, the first woman across the line with an impressive time of 19 minutes and 17 seconds, earning 28 points.
Going for the team, knowing that we needed the points, so just pushing through the pain. And
anyone that has ridden knows the agony that a cramp can cause. It literally brought Miguel Ramos to a standstill. However, it would not stop the member of Ted King's team from reaching the top. We have a new team in first. Team Boucher taking a 1-point lead over Team Hincapie. Fred Smith and Sam Bell leading the way as their team takes 5 of the top 10 placings, accumulating a total of 462 points with just one stage remaining. The individual standings tight as well. Fred Smith holding top spot. However, there are just 7 points between the top 5. The final stage coming up. The Blackberry Farm Sprint for Home will be the deciding factor.
Happy Valley, Sweetie Pie, Look Rock, Top of the World, world-renowned rides, breathtaking views. This is Blount County, the peaceful side of the Tennessee Smokies. Come make our rides into the best rides of your life.
The Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic is brought to you by Blackberry Farm and by Lexus, the preferred vehicle of Blackberry Farm. Perfect conditions here in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee for the Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic.
Baby riders, ready, let's go!
The athletes on the final stage, a sprint race back to Blackberry Farm, with only 1 point separating the top 2 teams, and just 6 points between the top 5 seeking the individual title. There is a lot still to be decided. The professionals will set the pace up front. For those able to stay with this group, it is the chance of a lifetime to ride with some of this country's very best, including 17-time Tour de France competitor George Hincapie. For Hincapie, this is about sharing his love of cycling while supporting his chosen charity.
Best buddies I met at the Tour of California probably 7-8 years ago. I just really appreciated what they did, and I got to meet a lot of the buddies throughout the last couple of years, and now I'm one of their main ambassadors for cycling. I do all of their events around the country. It's just such a great cause, and you really see directly the people it helps and the families it helps and affects. So I'm just proud that I'm an ambassador, and I hope I can win them some money this weekend.
Team Hincapie just 1 point back of Team Boucher for the overall team title and the $10,000 charitable dollars. Their battles up front with big points on the line. But the battles further back will have a major impact on the overall standings as well. Every point critical at this stage. As they approach the final push, the professionals will give way. The outcome now in the hands of the amateurs. The legs are burning. It is now a battle of wills. Michael Lee Bowes with the victory for Team King, Team Ventura's Brock Clay second, but the next 3 riders are all with Team Hincapie as they take over top spot in the standings. As the riders continue to cross the finish line, Team Hincapie continues to extend their lead. One of the last finishers, Lachlan Patterson. The crash at the beginning of the day has finally slowed him down. But to no one's surprise, he refused to quit on his teammates. The final results. Team Hincapie moves past Team Boucher during the final event, taking their title and in the process raising $10,000 for their charity, Best Buddies. The individual standings. Just 3 points separating the top 3. Brad Cobb with the win, followed by Bowes, Smith, Belem, and Brock.
Robbie Ventura, start to make your way up here.
Blackberry Farm is revered for their food as well as cycling. The evening's award celebration dinner prepared by guest chef Lachlan Patterson. His perseverance and commitment to his team had the celebrated chef selected as the most admired rider. The Blackberry Farm Foundation donating $10,000 to a local charity of his choice.
This is for the folks from Chattanooga at Chattanooga Unite.
The individual champion, Brad Cobb, will donate his winnings in support of the Chattanooga shooting victims.
Thanks, guys, for putting in such a great effort in today. I really appreciate that, and congratulations.
And the overall champions, Team Hincapie, will donate their winnings to Best Buddies.
The idea that they're experiencing something unique, something they haven't done before. Anytime you do something for the first time, it often transitions into a memory, and a memory is everlasting. We forget about a lot of things, but those unique moments stay with us forever.
A very memorable day here in the Smoky Mountains, with $30,000 donated through the Blackberry Farm Foundation during a great day of competition here in Tennessee at the Blackberry Farm Pro-Am Classic.